I'm Simon Holst and this is Everyday Easy. Today I'm going to be making a really simple family dish, chicken fettuccine. What I'm going to start with is I'm going to get a large pot of water boiling rapidly. I want to salt that quite liberally. You can't really get the same effect by adding salt at the end. And what I've got here are a couple of chicken breasts. That's about 500 grams. Using breast today because that's what was on sale at the supermarket. Just going to cut the chicken into slices, about 5 to 7 millimeters thick. So you're slicing across the grain. We're going to toss it in a reasonably sized bowl, and you're going to add a tablespoon of flour to that, and just give that toss together. Going to add a couple of tablespoons of oil there and whack the chicken in. If there's any extra flour, just toss that in with them. So I'm going to say that will thicken up the sauce later on. I don't want to overcook my chicken because it is lean, it can dry out, but I want to get a little bit of colour on it. Right, while the chicken is cooking, I'll grab a knife and I'm just going to slice my mushrooms. So roughly around the same size as you cut the chicken as a rough guide. And we're just trying to get a little bit of colour on that chicken. You can see some of those bits are turning nice and golden brown. That's looking pretty good. Just give the pasta a little stir to make sure it's not sticking together. Just going to take it out of the pan and set it aside. And I can put it back in the bowl I floured it in before because it is going to go back into the sauce and will get cooked a bit more. So I still have some oil in the pan. I'm just going to add a little bit more. Then I'm going to add the mushrooms. Get them in there. Of course, what goes really nicely with the mushrooms is some garlic. So I've got my couple of cloves of garlic. We'll just make sure there's no huge chunks of garlic. So you just want to cook this enough till the mushrooms, again, some of them will begin to get a little bit of brown caramelization, but generally they'll all just start to soften. You can sort of see when that happens because at the moment they look quite dry. They've sucked up all the oil. But as we keep cooking them, suddenly they'll sort of render down and the water will actually be released and they'll make some lovely sort of juice. And I've got some fresh thyme here. A rough rule of thumb is if you've got them and you want to use fresh herbs, use about twice the amount as you would dry. So say 2 teaspoons of dried thyme, fresh thyme going in there. I've got about a teaspoon of dried basil. Nice grind pepper there too. And once they've softened, we can begin adding some liquid. I'm actually going to add the chicken back with any accumulated juices. Got the herbs in there. Now I'm going to add 3/4 cup of cream. What I've got here is half a cup of chicken stock. There's nothing wrong with instant stock if that's what you've got. As that mixture comes to the boil, the flour on the chicken will thicken it up a bit. We've got half to 1 cup of peas, depending how much you like them. I quite like peas. Just good old frozen peas, useful things to have on hand. My wife's not so keen, but she's not here so I can get away with adding more. Like I say, it may look like the sauce is fairly liquid. What will happen over the next minute or so, the pasta will soak up that extra sauce. Yeah, and of course I can sacrifice a bit of my basil for this. Nice sprig of fresh basil. Maybe another grind of pepper. And you're good to go. Maybe some shaved parmesan if you like.